police aggressive tactics sparred a lot of the violence that was seen. Innocent people that were actually trying to push back demonstrators from the police line were actually clubbed, myself included, by the police with their shields and their batons. A friend of mine was badly injured and ended up with blood pouring out of his head.
Really?
And as I tried to evacuate him through the police line, I too was clubbed by the shields further. It looks now that from the row of police slowly boxing down that in fact they're going to try and clear the streets by pushing people through. The police tactics there have been ridiculously out of proportion. We're peace protesters, not terrorists. But yet we've been treated like petty common criminals. We've been beaten and we've been abused, and this is meant to be a democratic country. My friend's gone to hospital. He had I'm not sure who, but someone hit him in the back of the head, and he had like blood just pouring. And as we tried to get him out through the line, they just the police wouldn't let us through. They were like pushing me back and like hitting me, and like I was just trying to hold his head to stop the bleeding, but they were just like pushing us back and away. And it was a good 5 minutes before we were given a medic to see to him, despite the fact he was virtually unconscious on the floor. It was an absolutely horrible state of affairs.
Why are you British? What's the cause?
What is my cause? I'm a human. It doesn't matter if I'm British, Israeli, Palestinian, and at the end of the day innocent people are dying, and I just can't stand by and let that happen without knowing that I've done everything in my power to try and stop that atrocity. Regardless of where you stand on this conflict, I personally support the Palestinians, but regardless of where you stand, we're all at the end of the day humans, and we should not be killing each other in a needless, pointless war that has nothing to do with terrorism or security, but more to do with the upcoming Israeli elections. I'm an art student, I'm 19 and I live in East London. That occurred today is a result of the police tactics. From the start of the demonstration, the police were there in heavy body armour, wearing helmets and balaclavas to conceal their faces. If you send the basic psychological symbols that you don't want to show your face and you're ready to fight, then you will antagonise the crowd, especially when they started getting very close to the crowd and started pushing people back. They tried to arrest people over the barriers who were doing nothing wrong. I was stood at the front of the crowd and a copper stole my sign off me, snapped it in half and told me that if I came near him again he'd fucking hit me, despite the fact I was doing nothing wrong and legitimately and peacefully taking part in a legal and democratic protest. The police have then continued to use more and more aggressive tactics, hitting unarmed people, beating innocent people with their shields and clubs. This is absolutely ridiculous. If the police had not antagonised the situation, indulged in the brutality that they had and beaten people, the situation would not have got as out of hand as it has. In fact, a lot of us feel that if we that fighting the police now will achieve absolutely nothing. We will just be beaten and we will disaffect people from our movement when we need all the support we can get. So a group of us formed a cordon between the police line and the protesters, and we tried to hold everyone back and tried to discourage people from throwing things at the police to try and keep the protest peaceful. But the police actually turned on us and started beating us with their shields and clubs, despite the fact we were clearly linking arms with each other and had our backs to the police and were stood away from them. The police wanted this fight, they were looking for it, they were jumped up for it, and they got it, and that is a terrible shame.